First of all, ladies and gentlemen, first of all, give a big happy birthday to Mr. Louis Cato right over there. Happy birthday, Louis. 28, something like that. Now, John, I've been looking forward to talking to you because you know all I wanted to talk about tonight was the Met Gala.
Yes.
Evie and I have been a few times. It's super fancy.
Yes.
Did you have a good time last night?
I did. I liked that I made some best dressed lists and
You did. I saw that. I saw that.
It was cool. I feel like it was a good escape from the harsh realities of the world. Because then it's like another world, man.
It's a different planet in there.
Yeah,
Everybody's beautiful.
I know. It's like, wow, everything's so expensive. You know?
Unlike the rest of New York, where everything's so affordable. Anyway, I'm glad you had a good time.
Yeah,
good to see you over there.
Yeah.
We got, who's good to see tonight is we have two national global treasures. Ron Howard and Jose Andres are here to talk about World Central Kitchen.
Jose, man.
Beautiful organization, doing great work out there.
Yeah.
But right now, my first guest is a staff writer for the New York Times Magazine, co-host of the Slate's Political Gabfest, and a lecturer at Yale Law School. Please welcome Emily Bazelon. Good to see you again.
Thank you. Good to see you too.
I want to talk about this, this leak of this initial draft opinion. Before we do any of that, what's the big deal about the fact that this was leaked? People are freaking out about it. Explain to me why that's so important.
I mean, it's really, in our modern history, has never happened before.
Modern starts,
say, the 20th century.
Okay.
We haven't had a major case have a draft leak early at a stage where we don't even know whether there's a firm majority for it. We don't know exactly what it means, but we can see all the reasoning that Justice Samuel Alito is laying out for overturning Roe versus Wade.
So today, Robert said, this is the real deal. This is actually there, but of course, that's not the final opinion. Things could change. Two things. One is, could some of these votes change? Do we know in the past that from the first vote to the last vote, votes will change?
Votes can absolutely change. This is just a piece of paper right now. I mean, they can rip it up and throw it away and start over. And certainly it has been true in some big cases like Obamacare, where justices have changed their votes during this process of drafting and revising opinions.
Like Roberts, everybody thought he was going to vote to get rid of it.
Exactly. So sure, it could happen. However, this is a really strong conservative majority of 5 justices who were essentially put on the court. This is their mission to end the constitutional right to abortion. That's kind of what they're doing there.
So who is there speculation of who might have done it? Like, who benefits from this having happened?
Somebody who wants to damage the court's reputation, I think. This is bad for the court.
Not just like change, but literally to damage the court's reputation. That's why you would do this.
Well, I think that's one reason, right? It makes the court look like any other part of Washington, leaky, bunch of hacks. The other thing you could imagine is that a liberal wants to embarrass the court, shake up the country, make the court think there'll be a big backlash if they overturn Roe. But you could also imagine someone on the right wanting to make sure that none of these 5 votes in the majority change their mind.
You lock them in by making them public.
Lock them in. Now it'll be clear who it was who got spooked and lost their nerve.
So let's get back to they were put on the court for this moment right now. Let's talk about the confirmation hearings. I was talking about it before. It seems like these 5 justices, when they were appointed, everybody knew that they weren't really telling the truth about their opinions about Roe v. Wade. The people who didn't want them to be there believed that they were lying and were mad about it. The people who wanted them to be there knew that they were lying, but were glad they were lying so they could get on the court, because it's an untenable position to take in the confirmation hearings.
So
yes or no?
I think confirmation hearings have really...
I said yes or no, Senator.
Yes.
Yes. Well, I guess my question is, are confirmation hearings less than useless now?
Yeah, I think they're less than useless. I think they're misleading people, actually. Yes.
Okay. What stands out to you about Alito's arguments?
Well, so Up until now, Roe and Casey, this later decision that affirmed it, have been based in the idea that there's a right to privacy and also that the Constitution protects our liberty. And the reasoning was that to really be free and equal, women have to be able to control their own bodies and when they have a baby.
That's an equal protection argument, though.
It's a liberty interest argument.
Okay, yeah.
Alito doesn't agree with any of that. And one of the rationales he gives for not agreeing is that women are actually in a better position, he says now, than they were when Roe was decided in 1973. We have more protections against discrimination, and so that is part of his argument that this is no longer a liberty interest that the court needs to protect. You can just give it over to the states.
So if privacy is not inherent in the Constitution, what does that affect? What other rulings could that affect? Is that Obergefell, which is gay marriage, or Loving v. Virginia, which is interracial marriage?
Right. Well, if you go back to really the idea that if it's not written down in the Constitution, then it's kind of up for grabs now, then yes, it doesn't say same-sex marriage in the Constitution. It doesn't even say that we can marry across racial lines in the Constitution. Those are ideas based on the interest in liberty and equality, but they're not in the text. And so it is possible that once you start shaking the foundation of what counts as privacy and liberty and equality, that these other really important decisions in American life could also be toppled. Alito says that's not what they're doing, but he is opening the door.
Yes, and they all said it was, either settled or important precedent.
Yes.
So there's no reason to believe them if they say the sky is blue. You should go check.
I mean, settled law, it's settled until it's not settled anymore.
Mm-hmm. Well, okay, you also are one of the hosts of the Slate Political Gabfest. So let's talk about what the political implications of this could be. The word benefit isn't exactly right, but who does this motivate to get to the polls in the midterms? Or does it do anything to change that calculus?
I think it will stir Americans. I think it will stir Americans on both sides of the political divide, right? So Democratic voters are going to think this is really a huge change. I mean, we could have abortion be illegal in 20 states before the election in November.
When would that kick in?
I mean, if
the ruling comes out at the end of June?
Right, or they could do it sooner at this point. So, the clock is really ticking. I should say, abortion is still legal right now because this opinion is not final, but it could happen quickly. And so then you could see Democrats, there's already talk from the Senate leaders about introducing federal legislation that would in some way protect abortion. The filibuster is a big problem for that. And you're going to see Republicans very galvanized to pass state-by-state level restrictions in the states that they control, and that is a lot of states.
Well, Emily, thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate you coming in. Put some of this in perspective for us. So nice to see you again. Emily Bazelon, everybody. We'll be right back with Jose Andres and Ron Howard.